I'm part of a local donation group, so I often get asked to help with clothing donations. When someone passes away or downsizes, I help wash, fold, sort, and deliver clothes to various free stores. Sometimes, if we know someone in the community is in need, we deliver essentials like winter or kids' clothing directly to their home. We're just a community group. There's no religious, political, or hidden agenda. We discreetly distribute extra resources to help out when needed. This situation just baffles me, and I'm still trying to figure out how it escalated the way it did. A few days ago, there was a fire in our community that left 3 families displaced. We gathered what we could in the sizes they needed, and off we went. We don't ask for anything in return, other than knowing the families are slightly better off. We always apologize and explain that while the styles may not be what they're used to, as it's donated clothing, at least it's clean and warm. If they have specific needs, we tell them to let a group member know, and we do what we can. Many collected items come from other families whose children have outgrown them. It's anonymous, and it's a way for more comfortable community members to help others. It's something I love about my community. People don't hesitate to offer help when needed. I was given an address and headed out as usual. I arrived, took the bags and coats to the door, and knocked. After that, I'm not sure what to think. It started off like usual. There was a mother and 3 children, so I explained that there are 3 bags of clothing in the submitted sizes and a box of age-appropriate toys, just like for the other families. I thought I misheard when she said she preferred my coat and just asked, "What?" She called me rude and told me again, "This stuff is okay, but I want the coat you're wearing." When I told her, "No, I'm sorry, but I just bought this coat," she got angry and accused me of picking through donation bags for the good stuff. I've never run into this issue before. None of the group members are well off. In fact, that's why we do what we do, because life is hard here, and we believe in sharing what we have as a community. We collect good quality items from those with extra and distribute them freely to those who need them or have specific needs. Sometimes we all take items from our own closets if they're needed more elsewhere. Last year, we raised funds to purchase a wheelchair-accessible vehicle for a family. The year before, it was a young family whose matriarch was diagnosed with terminal cancer. This year's cause is to build 4 tiny homes for the homeless in our community to use as needed. Our goal is to provide stability so they can successfully reintegrate during and after addiction rehabilitation. We all do what we can to help. It's a hard world to feel alone in. Now, my coat is expensive, $250, but I saved gift cards for 2 years and anxiously watched for post-season sales before finally taking the plunge and getting it for 75% off. Maybe I messed up by wearing it on this errand? I don't know. After I said, "No, this is my coat," a second time, she started yelling at me. I just left the bags on the doorstep and drove away. Today, I woke up to a slew of texts from the group asking me to explain why I refused to give the mother any winter coats and why I left everything at the end of the driveway, allegedly in a ditch. They aren't questioning. Most are downright accusatory. Some are just borderline mean. It's the kind of day where I feel like giving up on making the world a better place. I've been where these families are, and people helped me just like this. I know what it feels like to rely on others, so I try to be compassionate and understanding without being condescending or pitying. I don't usually talk about what I do because no one needs to know where it's from or who's getting what. It's just paying it forward. I do it because it was done for me, and it's the right thing to do. It's that simple. But after today, I don't even want to reply to anyone. It's not just that woman. It's the texts that are getting kinda nasty. It's these people obviously talking about me behind my back. It's how quickly they assumed I must have done this. I'm not sure if I want to keep doing this after all that's happened. I've been part of this for 5 years and never had a complaint before. I feel betrayed by people I thought were friends. It all feels gross, dramatic, and depressing now, and that's not how this is supposed to feel. I could understand if this was like a fancy fur coat or something. This is literally just a plain-looking long coat that happens to be super warm. I don't get it. It's only been an official group with a board for about 4 months, but we've been doing this for 5 years as a project of mine and the current board president. It gathered considerable traction, volunteers, and funding over time. They really need policies in place, if only to protect the clients using the service. But as a new board, we're all just learning the ropes and dealing with red tape as we go. The one person I thought I could count on is the one insisting this happened as the client describes. I'm just so confused. We did need a board in this case, as we're partially federally funded, the community pantry anyways. It's a requirement, unfortunately. Only 1 out of 5 members of the charity group has texted to ask if I'm okay and what happened. The rest seem to believe I did this. I don't know how to move on from this because the truth will come out eventually in a community this small. It always does. The question now is, do I want to be involved with people like this? I don't think I can trust them after this. Comment, maybe take a break from the group. The way they treated you is horrible. The issue is I can't avoid them either. I'll have to respond eventually, either via text or in person. The longer I wait, the worse it'll get. I know that, but I just don't want to deal with this. Small community. The truth will surface eventually. It's now obvious I can't trust these people. No matter what's said after this, the damage is done. Update. As suggested, I texted them as a group, stating only the facts. Items were carried to the front door as usual. Client requested my personal attire. Client accused me of theft from donation bags. Client verbally abused me. I left the following on client's doorstep. 1/2 bag of women's clothing sizes ML, 1 + 1/2 bags of children's clothing sizes 3 to 8, 1 one bag of assorted linens and towels, one box of assorted children's toys and books. I'm trying hard to understand some of the messages I've received about this, and I'm truly confused why anyone would think I deliberately degrade a client. You all know my history and reasons for participating, as I feel I no longer have a place of trust within our group. I am formally resigning from my roles within the committee and the group. I will, with your blessing, remain on the helping tree as a contact. So far, the replies are interesting, ranging from apologetic to accusatory to narcissistic. The most interesting one so far, I think, wasn't intended for me and suggested that this was for the best. I can't believe how naive I've been. There's an emergency meeting scheduled for next week, as apparently you can't just resign midterm from a board like this without a valid reason, which I think I have. The benefit of this is my accuser also has to give an official statement in the meeting minutes because I've resigned, which I'm allowed to attend and comment on. This adds validity to my reasons for resigning. Would it be petty if I wore my coat again, or should I pick something older? I'm genuinely asking. I don't want to make things worse. I just want out to do my own thing. Rumors are already starting and seem to be in my favor. Small towns are terrific or terrible for that. I've just been texted asking me to withdraw my resignation for fear this may cause an irreparable rift in our charitable group. I have 8 months left of my current term as secretary, a position that requires the board members' trust to record accurate notes, which I no longer feel I have. I don't want my character unfairly questioned again after I've worked so damn hard to build it up. My resignation was supposed to prevent drama and divide, but it's doing the opposite. What would you do? I feel like I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. Comment. Not allowed to resign? What are they going to do? Ground you? E. With a formal board, there are steps to take to remove a core board member, president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, committee heads, or so I'm being told. This might be a stall tactic. I'm reviewing the current bylaws and policies, but it's small font and a tough read. E. I'm surprised and touched by how many clients are defending me, but I think this is causing a lot of drama and distrust within the organization and with those who use it. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid by quietly resigning. It just sucks, for lack of a better word. I feel like the religious have it wrong. It's not judge not lest ye be judged. It's just be judged these days. Comment. Going forward, it needs to be mandatory that there be 2 delivery people on every delivery. No excuses. There will be people in the future in dire need of your group's services. Please don't let that woman's behavior stop you from helping those who appreciate your work. And bonus, if the other helper has a phone's camera on, you have documentation, and they start being polite if they weren't already. Has anyone gone by the house again to see if there really was a ditch? Oh my dash cam. I'm going to check it. Thank you. Thank you so much. No audio, no clear aha moment, but it does show enough. It shows me pulling in, and there's nothing on the porch. It shows the car moving slightly as I take the bags out, and it does show a bag being deposited on the porch, as well as at least 2 coats snowsuits. As I back out, you can almost see the whole porch. You do see her outside, but the definition isn't good enough to see her face or what she's doing. I'm also still not sure what proof, if any, has been submitted by my accusers, who, I'm told, has been dropped from the Helping Tree Community Pantry Registry. I'm actually starting to get very angry. That woman messed up, but she has 3 kids under her care who deserve to eat and be clothed. This is going way too far. Update. The ungrateful client is the board president's former sister-in-law, and yes, they're still friendly. Ah, small towns. I can't wait for next week. Comment. I knew it. This whole fiasco smelled strongly of being completely orchestrated. Typical small town intrigue and power struggle when there's only one struggling for power. The president wants you kicked out because you're a co-founder, and she wants to take all the accolades and applause from the community. Go get your reputation back, sweet lady. You are needed and necessary to the community. If you weren't, you wouldn't have been doing this charitable work for 5 years. Fight, fight, fight. E. I'm trying to figure out how to walk away, but still acknowledge what's going on without hurting the board. They do good work that's needed. I can't torpedo that, no matter how I feel. And that's the problem. I think I'm going to ask for an official board inquest, which is within my rights according to our bylaws. Before I go, I can't imagine someone doing this for reputation or clout. I certainly hope not, anyway. But if the inquest finds it was planned, who the fuck does this? I would have grounds to have the board president removed. It's not pettiness. I don't want this done to someone else. But you're right. Something stinks here, and it gets worse by the day. I'm going to look into E. I'm going to submit a statement to the board with footage from my dash cam that shows at least 1 bag clearly on the porch. Unfortunately, I forgot to itemize the coat, 3 snowsuits, and boots dropped off in my group text, so I have to justify that somehow. I just heard they dropped off another 3 bags to the woman, including winter gear. I think it's an attempt at damage control, but they're going in the wrong direction, given what I'm hearing from many. If she tries to sell the excess, like many think she will, this will all come to a head much faster. Either way, I'm ironically the least invested in this around here at this point. Small town drama. I admit, looking back, it's odd I was given this client when others were closer. I thought it might be due to scheduling conflicts, but that's not the case either. Interestingly, rumors are going around that this was staged. I'm trying not to pay attention to rumors without proof, but I'm starting to wonder. I hate this with a passion. It all seems so damn stupid. I'm still so confused. The meeting is scheduled for Wednesday night, 2 days. I haven't decided if I'm going yet. I don't want this drama to derail what has been a good thing so far. I may just submit my statement and resignation and leave it at that. Popular opinion is on my side, so why make it worse? Comment. I agree with this so much. People have had to do that here in my town too. We have small groups that help the community, not part of any organization or charity, just folks giving back. We had some specific residents who were running their mouths, taking donations, and selling them for cash. Eventually, these residents burned through different community groups and established organizations, constantly complaining and causing trouble. These groups posted on Facebook telling their side of the story just like you suggested. Well, those residents kept up their antics, blaming others for not helping, blah blah blah. It didn't take long for the rest of the town to realize they were scammers, and they got booted from all community groups here. Sometimes you need to stand up and share your side with the community. Eventually, the truth comes out. You're brilliant. After reading this, I started thinking about other groups this woman might have been part of at her previous location. Well, I now have 4 witnesses to past behavior who are willing to come with me Wednesday from 3 groups that have been similarly burned by this woman. The question is, do I want to go that far? I do, and I don't. I feel like this has taken up way too much valuable time, and it's distracting from the group's original purpose. I'm also being asked to submit my name for board president by most of the board for the upcoming term, so I'm supported now. Still, I don't trust any of them to have my back if anything happens, and if I replace the prez, shit will happen. Comment, wear your coat to the meeting and bring the receipt for it. I don't think I need to bring the receipt. They're all aware of when I got my coat and what I paid for it. I'm being told there are 2 board members, president and treasurer, who seem to think I'm blowing this out of proportion and should just take the reprimand maturely. If I go in on Wednesday, I'm simply going to tell them that I feel I no longer have the trust required for my appointed position, and I'm respectfully resigning to prevent further drama. I'll hand in my official resignation and walk away. I've also discovered the emergency meeting is to consider 3 resignations, not just mine. Comment, OP, defend yourself. There's something fishy about this. Also, call CPS anonymously and report her for being unstable. No, I won't be petty and call CPS. Those kids don't deserve to be dragged into this too. Comment, maybe you should start your own group with people you can trust. I've actually been thinking of a fringe group for more rural locations that don't fall within community boundaries. This may just be divine intervention in disguise. Update, the meeting. My apologies. This will be long. As I parked, a couple of people stopped to say hi, but most of the board ignored me. My accuser, though, had a great laugh at my expense and literally taunted me in front of the others on the way in. Ooh, here for more, are you? Guess you didn't get enough of me yet. And then she blew me a kiss. She showed up with the president, which seems relevant, especially since she left right after. The meeting started at 6 p.m. I wasn't allowed to sit at the table until the issue came up. I waited alone for over 45 minutes. Finally, someone peeked outside at 6:53 to see if I was still there and called me in. My accuser wasn't there. I sat down, and the first thing said to me was, well, we may have made a mistake, followed by a flowery apology that stank of bullshit and was as gaslit as a propane stove. You know that when a complaint comes in, we have to investigate it. At that point, I just exploded. Like, I didn't even talk to my kids like that when they were babies. It was the kind of tone you'd use when talking to the simplest of minds. I told them there's a massive difference between investigating and outright accusing, and that I didn't appreciate how their incompetence at leading a board nearly derailed the whole organization and just cast a really bad light on what we were doing. She says, by unanimous decision, we've decided not to accept your resignation. Welcome back. I've probably been this confused before, but I don't remember when. I was expecting this to be much harder. I had a factual speech ready and everything. Walked in, and it was just, we oopsied. Oh well, teehee. Well, that's unfortunate that you refuse to accept it because it's given, and I'm not rescinding it. I'm out, and it seems you all know exactly why. For those who have reached out to me, I'll consider your offer of leading this board, but at this time, I'm not comfortable with the lack of trust and transparency I'm seeing, and left. My phone has been blowing up all night. I meant to update immediately, but it just kept ringing and dinging. I don't even know how so many found out. Good old gossip is my guess, but I had over 30 calls and just as many texts and social media messages. So, what happened while I was waiting outside? My accuser decided to get on something pre-meeting, literally acted like a wild animal at one point. I'm told it was so bad that the police and child protection services were called by 4 of the 5 ladies present, and when told they were called, my accuser took off running home. That's a whole other story. The kids are now safe, I'm told. There's that. The versions I'm hearing are surprisingly similar for once, so I'm going to tell you the events as I was told. The president's husband is apparently an addict who gets his stash from the sister-in-law accuser. I'm not clear on the details, but I'm told blackmail was involved. Common word is, she threatened to spill the beans on her husband. You know how it goes. Get hurt, get a prescription, get hooked, and then turn to street drugs because they're cheaper, and there's no doctor questioning your dose. There's another rumor he's also sleeping with his sister-in-law, but it's not confirmed. Just been going around for the better part of a year. Maybe I should start paying more attention to rumors, because I had no clue. The accuser seemed normal, if a bit twitchy. She went to the washroom, and apparently shit went sideways not long after she came out. At one point, she was on the floor, slithering and grunting like an animal. Part of me wishes I had seen it, but I'm also kinda glad I didn't. When the accuser left, it swayed the remaining 2 votes in my favor. There was a discussion on how to handle me, where the president just said she'd follow the board on the vote after they shot down her suggestion to still address the complaint. The way she glared at me when I walked in, yes, wearing my coat, told me she wasn't happy about it either. The vote was unanimous to keep me, but but I had no desire to stay after all that. Tomorrow, they have an open board meeting to explain what happened, as transparency is ironically a promise we made to the community so they know exactly who and what they're supporting. I won't be there, but a lot of angry and confused people will be. I'm glad I'll be missing it, but I have a feeling I'll hear all about it. I'm told some will call for the president's resignation. We'll see, I guess. I started this feeling lower than low, but tonight I'm surrounded by positivity, and I feel good about this decision. Is this karma? It feels like karma. Steps are already being taken to form what we will call the Fringe Farm. We'll collect fresh goods donated by local farmers and deliver them to homes that need a little extra, focusing on those living between communities and people new to rural life. Eventually, I hope to offer clothing and household goods, but I need to find a source outside the community so I'm not taking from the original group. I also have a preliminary board comprised of 3 of the 5 members from the original board. Haha, I've told them they have to finish their term at the group because they do damn good work, and it's not fair to those who need them to just walk away. Hypocritical? Maybe, but I refuse to torpedo the group. 2 still submitted resignations because they're just floored by that last meeting. Their resignations depended on mine, so their exit meetings are being scheduled for next week. Since they no longer have a secretary to record minutes, I'm being asked to. I'm also being asked to submit my name for president should the current one agree to resign. I haven't decided if I will. I feel that would come across as petty, and to be honest, it's no longer my business. Thank you for the encouragement. I'm not sure if I would have had the courage to attend if not for the overwhelming kindness and support shown here by strangers. Shakes head. You have no idea how much this meant to me when I needed it. Thank you. Update. The open meeting was a shit show, I'm told. Press was called to resign. Refused. So the board resigned. The group is now being led by the president, and that's it. So it's essentially dead. You need a minimum of 3 board members to continue as a registered charity nonprofit. Nobody, out of approximately 50 people, raised a hand when asked if they wanted to join. The Fringe Farm, by comparison, has more volunteers than we can organize. This is the group started after you. Lovely folks helped me decide staying wasn't worth the trouble. I have mixed feelings over this. 1, it's nice to feel validated. The other, I really don't like how this went down for too many reasons to count. Our first task as a new org, writing an ironclad policy everyone agrees with, including specific steps to collect, file, and address complaints or concerns.